owner of St. Louis Closet Company, joins this morning. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
Good morning, Doug. Good morning, Kelly.
Hi,
How
Jennifer.
are you guys?
Just fine.
We're doing great. I think that you've got one of the best
Hello?
ideas going, and that is that if you are a small business person, knowing who your competition is probably the biggest leg up to becoming successful and doing well in business.
Absolutely. It is so important to know and understand your competition. I mean, not only do you need to understand what your competition does and what products they offer and what they say to their customers, but you need to understand your competitive advantage over them, and then you need to know how to market that. There are so many companies today that offer basically the same product. So sort of how do you distinguish yourself with your competitors? And if you're the type of small business like mine, we distinguish at St. Louis Closet Company, we distinguish ourselves by service and by being locally owned and being the only closet company in St. Louis owned by a woman. And so what we do is in all of our marketing efforts, try to show our customers that. It is just so, so, so important for small businesses to stay on top of their competitors. Now, you don't have to go out and spy on them, of course, but in today's world, it's easy. You can visit their websites. You can get on a mailing list. You can watch TV commercials or listen to radio commercials. But what I have found and had a lot of success with is going outside the St. Louis area. And what I have done is I have created sort of like a mini board of directors with other closet company owners from other cities. And for myself, this has been invaluable. I've been able to go into their showrooms, go into their manufacturing plants, find out all the best practices, and really talk to other closet company owners about what they're doing that works.
Which I think is great, sharing those ideas, because it only makes you, better and stronger, being able to, like-minded people being able to do stuff like that. And I also think also getting an edge, and like you were talking about marketing, knowing what you want to do ahead of your competitors before they do it,
Well, right. And you have to stay, I know so many small business owners that just get so wrapped up in the day-to-day business of running their business. And they sort of forget about what's going on in the world, what's going on with their competition. And if you don't stay on top of that, you can quickly be left behind. Whether it's a new product offering, whether it's, in the closet business, whether it's new colors or new accessories or, Murphy beds. McGraw loves his Murphy bed.
Yes, he does.
And we found out we were one of the first companies in St. Louis to offer Murphy beds because on the West Coast, where I have a very good friend who owns a closet company, they were selling Murphy beds like crazy. So I went out to California and I was like, show me this Murphy bed, show me what this is about, and brought it back to St. Louis. So sort of having the ability to stay in front of your competition is important. And also there's a lot of industries where you can be friendly with your competitors. Mm-hmm. Most not. Most small businesses don't want to walk into their competitor's office or showroom and sit down and have lunch with them. But there are some, which is why we have found, going to other cities and creating relationships with companies outside of St. Louis where I'm not competing with them. Mm-hmm. So I'm able to go to them and say, hey, we're having this problem, or what did you do when this happened? And that has been really, really valuable for my business.
I think to your point, though, and I think it was an excellent one, is in this day of modern media, to subscribe to their Twitter feed, to be on Facebook with them, and you can even create a name so that they will not know it's you. And as you said, you don't necessarily have to go lurk around their stores or whatever type of establishment it is, but you can keep tabs on what they're up to and maybe get ahead of the game.
Exactly. And And maybe it's just sort of, educating yourself. The problem also, though, with social media, as we all know, is a competitor or another company can look much bigger and much better on a website or on Instagram than maybe they really are. So it's also important maybe to drive by their location, drive by their showroom, start talking to people. Like, you can talk to suppliers and say, hey, there's a new company that opened up down the street. Tell us something about them. How big are they really? Because their website looks fabulous, but maybe they're just a little small one-person store. So sort of understanding who you're competing with is important, because sometimes we can all get wrapped up in, somebody may have the most gorgeous brochure in the entire world, but they may be a franchise, and that brochure was created for them, from the franchise headquarters, and it's not what's happening right here in St. Louis.
Right.
So really understanding the competition is just so important for the success of really all small businesses.
Very good.
And I think you use it in a positive way. You don't use it in a negative way. My salespeople, we never talk badly about our competition, but we know our competition well enough that we can sell our product and our benefits based on that information.
Jennifer,
we
thank
don't
you.
talk bad about someone, but we talk good about ourselves.
Jennifer Williams, owner of the St. Louis Closet Company, joining us this morning on the Big 550 KTRS.